C'è la luna, mezzo mare, mamma mia, mia mare.
Ciao ragazzi. Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the only pizza dough recipe you'll ever need. I'm going to be adding some lukewarm water. We're going to want it at about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. You can use a thermometer or just judge it on your own. I'm going to be adding 2 teaspoons of sugar and 2 teaspoons of dry active yeast. And to that, I'll be giving it a stir. Mix it well so that the sugar dissolves and it starts to activate the yeast. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes to put it all together. See you in a bit. So it's been about 15 minutes and you can see that the yeast is nicely activated. It has the bubbles on top. If you don't see those bubbles after 15 minutes, then you know that you have a dead yeast. So you'll have to throw it out and actually start all over with fresh yeast. Okay, so in this bowl here, this is the mixing bowl. In the mixing bowl, there's 6 cups of all-purpose flour. And to that flour, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt, half a teaspoon of granulated garlic. We have 2 tablespoons of Crisco shortening. And then we're going to add our yeast mixture. And I have about 2.5 cups of lukewarm water. I'm not going to add it all in the beginning. I'm going to save some because when you make pizza dough, you're going to have to get comfortable with the texture and the consistency of your dough. I like to pre-mix it a little bit by hand to kind of get an idea of what my moisture level is. And you can see that it's actually still quite dry. So I'm going to add a little bit more water. All right, I'll just show you that. And I think we're ready for the mixer. All right. We're going to start off slowly and then we're going to raise the speed to knead it. So I've just stopped it for a moment. I'm going to scrape down the sides. Okay. And it doesn't look like we're going to need that extra water. And here we can turn it up a little bit. And you'll see that it all comes together nicely. This will need to go on for several minutes, but I just want to show you the consistency of the dough. It's quite sticky right now. So we know that we're going to need a little bit of flour. Just a little bit. Start off slow to incorporate it. This is the part that will take some time to master. You'll start to learn the consistency of the dough and when it's enough flour and when it's enough moisture to know when it's ready. You can see that it's pulling from the sides, and that's what you want. So we'll let this go for several minutes, probably about 3 or 4 minutes. So that looks pretty good. It is a little on the sticky side, but we're going to hand knead it for a couple of minutes. So I'm going to put a little bit of flour down. We're going to roll the dough right onto the counter. And you can see the consistency of the dough. It is a little bit sticky, but it does hold together. You don't want to add too much flour to stiffen up the dough. You still want a nice, relaxed, soft dough. It'll make a nice, tender pizza crust and crispy on the bottom. This is not a soft Napolitan style dough. It's a crispy dough. You can see how it smooths out. See you want a little bit of bounce back. So just a little bit more flour. And this will take some time to perfect. Kind of want to roll it in on itself. We'll be doing this for a few minutes. You can see the dough bounces back. And it's still a little bit on the sticky side. So I have a bowl here. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. Spread it around so the dough doesn't stick to the bowl. Put it in upside down. Give it a little turn. And your dough is ready to rise. It's going to sit for about an hour or so, and then you're going to punch it down, and it's going to rise for another about half hour, and then your dough is ready to place in their pans. And there you have it.
The next step is getting the boards back down to just bare wood. We butcher them into all their congruent parts.
These strips might become earrings, tables, credenzas, or in this case,
So while I was making my pizza dough, this has been rising. I want to show you a little peek of what's to come next week. We have a traditional Sicilian spingi. It's an Italian donut, a fried Italian donut. They are delicious, rolled in sugar. This is the first rise. I'm going to take it down. It's going to rise again. And next week we'll show you the recipe and how it's done.